30. Devotional Thoughts for Women, written by Monica Diaz, read by Belinda Sainsbury. A pleasant good morning, dear friends. Today, April 24th, our devotion is entitled Closing My Mouth, Opening My Heart. Silence asked me to close my mouth and open my heart. Margaret Feinberg. I recently watched the touching video of Nita and Charlie Franks. Nita is an elephant and Charlie Franks is the person who raised her from the time she was a baby. But when Charlie retired, he gave her to the San Diego Zoo in the United States. 15 years later, they met again. Curious to know whether Nita would recognize the voice of her owner after 15 years of not seeing him, a television cameraman captured the scene. Charlie called out to Nita from 100 yards away. She immediately recognized his voice and went directly to him. I am certainly much worse off than Nita when it comes to recognizing my owner's voice. I have a defect. I have a hard time listening. If you ask my friend Clarita, she will confirm that. When she talks to me, I finish her sentences. It's a good thing that she stops me and helps me realize what I am doing. Otherwise, our conversations would be a monologue, coming from me, of course, which would prevent me from recognizing her voice and knowing what her character is like. When it comes to this bad habit and my relationship with God, I also know I am wrong when the only voice in my head is mine. I ask him for things. I ask him questions. I talk and I finish his sentences assuming I know what God will say. This prevents me from recognizing his voice and knowing his character. The truth is, I don't know what he will say to me. And if I only listen to myself, I will never know. I want to be like Nita. I want to recognize my owner's voice immediately and from a distance. But that requires a listening attitude. It requires being quiet and disciplined. Developing that art is a challenge to those of us living in this noisy world full of distractions. Silence is uncomfortable. It's hard to be still, and therefore, it's impossible to know that God is God. If I learn to create moments of silence and make room for Him every day, perhaps I will find out that God is not the way I thought He was. Perhaps I will hear Him bring to mind the name of someone who needs my help. Perhaps I will become aware of a sin I have committed and for which I have to ask for forgiveness. Perhaps I will understand I have to recognize my list of priorities so that it will be in agreement with a life of silence and prayer, not distraction, entertainment, and constant interruptions. Learning to be still, to know that God is God. Or, in words that are a little more blunt but effective, I hope closing our mouth to open our heart. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46 verse 10.